Welcome back, I'm Jill with the CarefreeKitchen.com, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make some easy homemade white bread. And this white bread recipe is made with simple ingredients, and I hope you love it as much as we do. Okay, but before we get started, please like, subscribe, and follow me here, and share it with a friend if you are so inclined, and I will show you all kinds of fun and easy recipes your family will love. So to get started on this recipe, here are the ingredients that you're going to need. Okay, I just have some regular all-purpose flour. You don't need anything fancy. You can use bread flour if you want, but this is just whatever I have on hand for all my baking, and it's all-purpose flour. I'm going to use a few eggs, and that makes the bread really soft and tender. And then some yeast. You can use active dry yeast or instant yeast, whatever's fine. A little bit of sugar to help activate that yeast. And then I have some pink sea salt here. It's really pretty. Some water, and then I'm going to be using this avocado spray to coat the insides of my pan. And I know they're non-stick, but we grease them anyways to make sure they all come out really easily. And then I just like to use my hand and run them along the inside to make sure I'm getting all of the bread pan coated. Okay, so I'm using a stand mixer. You can use a Bosch mixer, or I have a KitchenAid here today. I have both and I love them both. You can also make this by hand. It does take a little bit more elbow grease to knead the dough, but it's super easy and everything still applies if you're using your hands. Okay, so I'm going to add some warm water, and it's kind of like if you're making a baby's bottle. If you put your wrist in the water, you want it to be just a little bit warmer than your wrist, and that's when you know it's perfect. If it scalds your wrist, then it's too hot, and if you can't feel the warmth on your wrist, then it's too cold. So just going to put this into my mixer. And then I have my yeast, and that's going right in, and then my sugar. There we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna add my avocado oil, and I forgot to measure this out, but we're looking for about 1/4 of a cup. And I'm going to crack my eggs here, and then we'll put them into the dough as well. All right. Put those in. And I'm going to go with about half of my flour right now. And then also the salt. And now we will just mix this up slowly and let everything combine. Okay, so this has taken about 2 or 3 minutes to get to this point, and that looks great. I have, I don't know, maybe half of my flour left. I'm going to add it all up to about a cup left. I want to reserve about a cup of it, and I'll show you how to add that slowly so you know that you're getting just the right amount of flour for your bread. Okay, this has taken just a few minutes to get to this point again, and as you'll notice, the dough has pulled away from the edges of the bowl here, and it's just a little bit tacky, and that's actually perfect. You can see I have, I don't know, maybe 2/3 of a cup of flour left, and I don't need any more flour for this dough because if it's connected on the bottom, it's fine, and then it's pulled away all from the sides. So if your dough was really stringy around the sides and connected, you would want to add a little bit more flour, but this is great. We're going to continue to knead this for about 2 more minutes. All right, so my dough has had a chance to knead, and now I'm just going to take the dough hook off here. Now I'm just going to let this sit and let it rise until about double. And this could take, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. If you put it in a warm place, it's gonna rise a lot faster. I'm just gonna cover it with some saran wrap here, and we will be good to go. Okay, so my dough has had a chance to rise here for about 30 minutes. And as you can see, it's about double, and it's tender and just a little bit warm, so it's perfect. All right, so this one does take a little bit more mess because you have to put flour on your counter, but just be sure your counter is dry and then it won't get as crusty. It'll be easier to wipe off. I'm just going to dust that lightly and then turn out my bread dough here. And if I keep a little bit of flour in my hand, it'll keep it from sticking to my hand as well. Okay, so we're going to be making 3 loaves of bread with this. So I'm going to get a little bit of flour there and cut it into about 3 even sizes. It's a little bit easier to tell if you just put it into a ball. And I kind of just turn it over itself and then kind of pinch it and use my hand on the other side. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and add it to this one to make sure we've got 3 evenish, and it doesn't have to be perfect, just about close so that they cook about the same. And then I'm just gonna set this up over here while I work with one. So our bread pan is this big, so we don't want it much bigger than this. We want to keep it just about that width. Maybe a little bit bigger because we're going to tuck it in. Okay. You can turn it over, make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so the way that we do this, we're just going to roll it up. And then as we're lifting it up, you want to lift up this bottom piece here and then just tuck it in. And then I also like to just tuck this in on the sides. There we go. And that is about right. So for my second piece of dough, I'm just going to roll it gently. And if you work with it too much, it's going to become kind of stiff, and you don't want that to happen. So just be kind of gently and move from the middle towards the outside. And I'm going to use this nice flat part here for the outside of my bread and just kind of tuck it in and roll it. If there's excess flour, you just want to dust that off as you go. And if it tapers up like this, that's fine, because you want the middle of the loaf to be a little bit rounded too. So I like to turn it this way and then tuck this bottom in, tuck that top in, and then we are good to go. And if you just kind of level it out there, it'll be perfect when it rises. And then for the last one, tuck those ends in just a little bit, and we want to try and keep them as uniform as possible. Okay, before we let these rise, there's one more step that we need to do. I'm going to make a little egg wash. And so I just have 1 egg, and then I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of water. Okay, and then I'm just going to mix this up. And this will give the crust of your bread a really nice golden color. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that on my brush and then brush the top of each of these loaves. And this is an optional step. You don't have to do this, but I just think it gives such a pretty color to the top of the bread. Okay, so my dough is really spongy and it's raised almost double. I've preheated my oven to about 375 degrees, and it's going to cook for 25 to 30 minutes. And you can just place them, kind of spread them out a little bit so that they don't touch and the air can circulate throughout the oven. Here we go. Alright guys, here is my homemade white bread recipe. Check it out. It's like crusty on top and then brushed with butter. It's soft and chewy and tender on the inside. And the best part is it's made with simple ingredients, and I show you step by step how to make it. Thank you so much for watching this episode at the Carefree Kitchen. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow me here, and send it to a friend. That'd be great. We'll see you next time.